Hey guys, what's up? In this week's video, I'm going to take a look at my BUSHCRAFT EDC, so stay tuned. So, what is EDC? Well, in most cases, EDC stands for Everyday Carry. EDC. It's the stuff that you keep generally on your person every single day. Might be things like a phone, etc., that you take to work or school and things like that. But for me, what this video is going to be about is my bushcraft EDC. So technically it's not the stuff I carry every single day, it's just the stuff that I'm carrying when I'm out in the woods, practicing some bushcraft, some hiking, some camping, and those kinds of things. So it's going to be tailored more towards that. There's certain things that I wouldn't carry, down the town, doing the shopping or whatever. There's certain things that they are actually part of my physical EDC. And if you want to see my actual EDC, let me know and we can do that video. And we can also do videos on kind of my extended EDC, the stuff that I carry, in a backpack if I'm carrying a backpack, and things like that. But let's get into it. Let's have a look at what gear I carry every single day on my, not every single day, every single time I'm out in the woods, what I carry on my person. So let's start off with the standard things that you'd probably expect. Got a phone. Now, a lot of people in the outdoor sector, you could say, don't like carrying phones, don't agree with folk carrying phones, and that's an absolutely stupid notion. At least for me in the UK, I've pretty much always got access to phone signal, which allows me to contact in an emergency and get help. You don't have to be constantly on your device. It doesn't have to distract you from the wonders that are around you, but it's a good thing to have in case something goes wrong. Think apps like What3Words are really valuable and are being used by emergency services, but also things like the OS Maps app. Whilst I would still carry a paper map as a backup, this is a really good system. I also like to use the app Strava to track hikes and things, so I can look back at them and see what I've done. So you've got a phone. The next thing, and it's in my opinion the most important, is this little red pouch. And this pouch actually comes with me everywhere I go. I keep this in my pocket more often than I keep a phone in my pocket, more often than I take keys to the house. And this is my cuts kit, you could say. This is my version of something that I originally saw from the YouTuber Forrester Bushcraft. I will leave a link up in the right hand corner, one of these sides, right hand corner, to the video, and there'll be a link in the description to his channel. Great guy, go check him out. Really good inspiration and a good classic bushcraft channel. And he showed a thing in a video quite a while ago now on a cuts kit that he keeps in his pocket when he's out in the woods. Now his was a very, very basic one, and so is mine. I've just got some additional things in here. Basically, this is a go-to first aid kit. So if I cut myself on a minor cut, whether I've got a backpack with a bigger first aid kit or what, I have some first aid supplies. But there's also some things in here, hopefully, there should be, that will allow me to survive or increase my chances of surviving a serious accident and allow me to actually go and get my main first aid kit wherever it may be. So what I've got in here, I've actually got a mask. I've got a reusable mask. This one's from the Scout store. We no longer have to mandatory wear these in Scotland and in the UK, I believe, in general. But I carry one in here as a backup. As a backup to that one, and it doesn't need to be in here anymore, but it was when one like this was in my pocket, and that's just a little pouch that it's kept in, by the way. I've got a surgical mask as well. So that lives in there and that's again a backup. And if I really needed to for a first aid situation on someone else, I could potentially use this. I've got a little tiny notepad in a little kind of pocket, ziplocky kind of pocket thing to keep it dry. Now where this could come in handy is in first aid situations, or if I've taken medication, I can write that down, and it's always handy to have a notepad. Now I've got some 1-inch Gorilla Tape duct tape just folded over itself. This is really handy. It's a really good Gorilla Tape is my go-to duct tape, but also it's flammable, so at a push it's an emergency fire source, fire lighting tinder. And then, so that's one side of the pouch, and then the other side of the pouch is the little cuts kit itself. Now I'm not going to open this completely up, but in here, and it needs to be up, put in a new bag, I've got some small plasters of various different sizes. I've got a large kind of plaster that can get cut down. I've got my tick, sorry, I'm not showing it. I've got my tick kit in there, so I've got a tick card as well as some of the typical tick pullers. I've got some steri strips, which are super handy things, and they've saved my butt quite a few times. And I've also got blister plasters as well as some cleaning implements in there, and that's it. That's it. I'm not carrying any more first aid kit than that on me. Whoops. A alcohol pad is coming flying out the pouch. Now I don't, before anyone jumps to the conclusion that that's not enough first aid equipment, you're right. Because this isn't a first aid kit, this is a cuts kit. This is only for the initial treatment before I potentially increase to my actual first aid kit, which would live in a backpack. But on a day like today, when I don't have a backpack on and I'm just out for a short walk, I'm down in this little patch of woods. If something was to happen, I catch myself and I'm bleeding, I want to have some first aid equipment on me without having to carry my full first aid kit. And that's it. That's everything from this pouch. This pouch I got at the BUSHCRAFT show last year, the 2021 BUSHCRAFT show, and it is from, if you can see that, Brown's BUSHCRAFT, which is a really good company specialising in kind of canvassy stuff like that. So that's that. The other thing that I've got in this pocket of the trousers, so I wear Fjallraven Vita Pros. In the right hand pocket, what I keep, I've just got a lighter in there, bog standard. This is not my go-to fire lighting implement, you could say, but this is a good backup for for getting a fire going, lighting paracord, melting paracord ends and stuff like that. I have just wrapped it in some Gorilla Tape there that could be burned because it is flammable, but it's also just a little bit of a protection. Do bear in mind, lighters like this do not work when they're wet. Left hand pocket, the smaller one on these trousers, I keep a pen or pencil or both, and I keep a notepad. This is just a standard kind of typical, your kind of moleskin style notepad. I do want to upgrade this eventually to a Write in the Rain notepad, but why carry a notepad? Well, for me, it could be that I see something and I want to note it down. I might see a new leaf that I've never seen before and I want to sketch it. This isn't a journal. This is just my notepad for taking basic, simple notes. I don't use it that often, but it's still something that I carry. Also in this pocket, I've got my wallet. Branded sticker on the back there. And that's just my wallet. That is just an EDC item. That doesn't always come out to the woods, and often if it is coming out to the woods, it's going to be in a backpack because I don't want to lose that. Two more things. One of them I actually today now have in the pocket of my smock, and it is this yellow bag, and the stuff that's in here is rubbish. There's just some trash or some rubbish in here, and that's exactly what this bag is. This is my trash bag, my bin bag, my rubbish bag. Whilst I've been out walking today, came across some rubbish, picked it up, and I'll take it back and put it in the bin. Leave no trace is a very important message, but actually I really like the message that Fjallraven, the company Fjallraven from Sweden, take on, and it's a message that I like and do want to try and keep doing, and that is actually leaving the woods and the outdoor spaces that we visit better than we found it. That means not only are we not littering and leaving it in a mess, but we're also picking up other people's mess if there is. So that's what this is for. And the last thing, and I alluded to it earlier, sort of, when I said that this isn't my primary fire lighting, a lighter is not my primary fire lighting, and this lives on a lanyard here, in my hip pocket, not on my hip pocket, but in my kind of typical jeans kind of pocket, and that is a ferro rod. So a ferrocerium rod, a fire steel, whatever you want to call it. These are great. They produce sparks and allow you to get a fire going. However, do not carry one and try to use one unless you are confident in how to use it. Have the knowledge, have the skills, and then carry it. So that's it for what I carry in my pockets, on my trousers. But there's some other things that I also carry. Today, I've got some binoculars on. These are really quite good binoculars. I might be looking out there and trying to see a bird or a rabbit or something in the field. These aren't an EDC item. I just thought I'd mention them because I had them around my neck. Another thing I have around my neck, and this is inspired by Ray Mears. I read his book. What book? We Are Nature. I read his We Are Nature book. I'll have a link in the description if you want to check it out. It's an absolutely fantastic book, and in it he talks about the fact that he always has a lanyard around his neck with certain items on it. Now, one of the items that I normally carry on here is broken and needs to be replaced. However, it's not major. So this is a lanyard, just a paracord lanyard that I keep around my neck at all times. Now, it is not a breakaway lanyard. It will not come off my neck if I pull it. Now, that can be dangerous in mountain areas, and that is something I want to work on fixing. On here, I've got two things currently, basically. I've got a secondary ferro rod along with a striker. So again, I can produce sparks with either of my ferro rods. The one around my neck is a backup, basically. This is my primary one. And I have a Life Systems emergency whistle. This is a metal whistle. I can blow for help, I can do SOS, etc. Really helpful. The other thing that I normally keep on here is a little button compass, but that has broken. On my wrists, I always have a paracord bracelet on. This is a new one that I've made. I'll leave a link to the video where I made it, not where I made this, but where I made it from. You could check that out if you would like to make one yourself. I always carry a paracord bracelet on it. I don't carry it necessarily as a survival thing. I don't carry it for the paracord. I just carry it as a kind of decorative item. I like it. On my other wrist, however, is a very, very valuable item, and it is a watch. My watch of choice is the Casio Tough Solar. Check out a video on BUSHCRAFT's channel, again linked down below, where he reviews this watch, and that's where I saw this watch, and it is a fantastic watch. It's like 30 or 40 pounds, and for what you're getting, it is brilliant. You've got alarms, you've got timers, you've got stopwatches, you've got world time. It's got illumination, but it's not great, and it has got glow in the dark. And on the watch band, I have a Suunto, or Suunto, however you want to pronounce it, clipper compass. So that's again a small button compass that I keep on the watch strap. I've never had to use it, but it's cool. It's actually more expensive than the watch itself, and it is a good compass because it is, again, from Suunto. Finally, we've got this. This is my belt pouch that lives on my belt when I'm out in the woods. The pouch I got from Amazon, however, I'm 90% sure that it is a actual one of Tale of Knives leather belt pouches. I'm pretty sure it is a genuine one. If it's not, it's a very good knockoff. And in here I carry two things. I've got a torch So just a very cheap standard kind of torch. Do want to replace this with a better one from companies like Olight. And there's just a lanyard on there to attach it to the pouch and make sure it stays in place. And the other thing is something that I am constantly using, and it's this, the multi-tool. Now this one is from Adventure Ridge. Got it cheap out of some shop. I'm pretty sure we actually got it in Germany or in Austria, one of the two, out of an Aldi, and it is fantastic, and it has been going strong for a number of years now. I've got a little paracord Cobra Weave lanyard on there to allow me to get it out easily, and it just folds out, and this is just very handy. The thing I use it for most is actually the pliers, surprisingly enough. It's not the knife, but I use the pliers for untying paracord. That's a main one, as well as dealing with hot things like taking the pot supports off of my Trangia spirit burner, things like that. But you have got a knife, you've got some screwdrivers, you've got a descaler, you've got a file, you've got a saw. It's all useful stuff, but I don't tend to use it. Finally, and a very important thing, is a belt. A good quality leather belt will last you for years and will do you the world of good. This one is from Anson Belt and Buckle, and this is fantastic. It is a holeless belt. It uses a ratchet system, and there are multiple companies that have a ratchet system similar to this, but I use Anson Belt. I really like them. The customer service I've gotten from them is absolutely fantastic, and this is just holding up really nicely. It holds tight and it holds things on my belt. I can keep a knife on here and all of those kinds of things very easily. And that's a very valid point to make, is a knife. A lot of people are going to be saying, where's your knife? Where's your sheath knife? Where's your, you've said you carry a Laplander with you. Where is that? I don't have those on me. The Laplander I quite often actually have in the pocket on the side of these Fjallraven Vida Pros, if I'm actually going out to kind of collect resources or anything. The knife only really comes with me if I've got a backpack and if I'm actually going out to the woods to do something. The reason for that is I live in the UK, and the UK knife laws state that I cannot carry a knife on the belt for no reason. And walking to the woods is not a reason. It needs to be put in a backpack where it won't be seen. So I do not carry a sheath knife on my person, do not carry a folding knife. The only knife I carry physically on me when I'm out about is the one in my multi-tool, and that is a UK legal because none of it is locking. That's about it. The only other things would be clothing, but I will get into clothing in a different video. I want to do a standalone video talking about the clothing that I use in different scenarios, but that's about it. So there we have it. There is my BUSHCRAFT EDC, or you could say it's my BUSHCRAFT pocket carry, or it's my BUSHCRAFT EDC pocket dump, something like that. This is the stuff, or that was the stuff that I carry in my pockets when I'm out in the woods. So there we go. Hopefully you enjoyed that video. If you did, please make sure you hit that like button, as it helps out a lot. And if you're new here, make sure to subscribe as well. Also ring that bell notification icon to get notified when I upload a new video. Thank you for watching this video, and until next time, I'll see you out there. Bye for now.